All right, everyone, welcome to this late night lesson. So I just want to do a quick lesson on using a specific blues roadmap from iMusic Academy.
Hey,
Let me
everyone.
turn down this.
Our research department tells me that.
So the idea is the third of whatever key you're in. If we're in the key of C, go to the third note and go up to the root. So third up to the root. The great thing about this particular lick is that it works, the same fingering works for every single key. And we call this a blues roadmap at iMusic Academy. We have several different licks that we use and we transpose them in all keys. And this is a perfect example of a lick you need to know. And we're going to go third up to the root. So finger 1 up to 5, then chromatically down by a half step with our index finger, and then that sets up for another thumb up to the pinky finger. So 1 5 1 2 1 5, and then you keep coming down 1 2 1 5, and then you're going to go, this is the short version, 4, and then you end with flat 7 of whatever key you're in. In this case we're in C, no sharps and no flats, so you end on B flat and the 5th note of the C scale. So we have this sound, 1 and 2 and 3 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And just a quick note, inside the description I put a direct download to this specific chart, and so it goes over a 1-4-5 blues. So it's C, F, and G are our chords. I show the fingering. I always put fingering in my charts. And a quick thing while I'm at it, this is really interesting the way this happens, but very thankful for, I had 3 different people who in the last couple of days have purchased my blues bundle. So a quick shout out to Andy who got the first one, and then Macon got one today, and so did Gilbert. So thank you guys for investing in the courses. It makes me so happy, not because you got all the courses, but also just because you're investing in your future and learning the blues, and I'm here to help you. So I just wanted to express gratitude for that. All right, let's for any of you that just want the PDF, there is a link in the description, and go ahead and download that. It'll help you with the fingering and just kind of seeing this one particular shape we're going to do. And another thing, I'm going to show you the short way to do this and also the longer way that you can do this. In Blues Volume 4, we take it to the next level. So here we go. In my left hand, I'm going to go C, G to C, A, and I have a metronome going on in the background. I know it can be kind of annoying when I'm not teaching or when I'm not playing. I'm at 80 beats per minute. Whenever I need a quick metronome that's not a distraction from having one on your phone, just go to online metronome and Google online space metronome. It's a great, easy, super easy metronome to use. So I'm 80 beats per minute, and here we go. We go back to the PDF. So I'll notice that I'm just doing 5-2 to 5-1. Okay, so as I lock this up, here we go. Third time. Let's do that again. Okay, so a couple things that I notice as I start that specific lick is that the first thing, I'm getting my thumb to the third of whatever key I'm in. I'm in the key of C, so I go up to the third note and I put my thumb, and then my pinky naturally is stretched out over to wherever the root is. So we have this. And then I go cross over my second finger chromatically down, and then 1 5 again, back to 1, cross over again. And then on the last one, on the third time, I do 1 5 4, and then I do 1 5. A very familiar pattern that you hear, but a very important blues lick to know. And we want to get this on all keys. And so as you're visualizing this, I want you to see a couple of things that are happening. One is the third of the key goes up to the root, and then when I cross over, now I have the second note, or the 9th note, you might want to call that. But we'll say the second note for now, up to the flat 7. So getting to that flat 7 has that really bluesy sound. Then you come down and you're at the root again, 6, flat 6, and then you end with the flat 7 and 5. So as you're transposing this in different keys, I want you to make sure you get to the flat 7 and the 5th. A really blues tension kind of sound that sounds really familiar and really important to know in all keys. So if you're just now dropping in, make sure you download the PDF in the description. Here we go. The other thing that you need to know is, where do you lock up the hands? If I'm doing my C, G to C, A bass line, a very simple quarter note bass line, notice that when I went back to that E is right when I went up to the A, C and A. So wherever my thumb hits the second time, that's when I'm doing it. So okay, now let's say you've practiced left hand only and you do that for a while. You'll start to get muscle memory to develop that. But also in the right hand, I also practice things where I'm doing the right hand only. And one thing that I want to show you now is how to transpose this. You're going to transpose this in all keys. And if you are enjoying this, make sure you like this video. It always helps me, especially when I'm doing a pop-up lesson. Normally I'm doing a lesson for all of our iMusic Academy, Blues Academy members, but sometimes I just like to do late night lessons and where I just love to teach you guys this stuff. So if you're enjoying it, make sure you leave a like. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to the F chord and we're going to do the same exact lick. Now, it's really important to know all of your major scales. So each week I'm reinforcing that with my students. I say, all right, we know the key of C, no sharps, no flats, and you do C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We also assign numbers to the scales. When I go up to F, I need to know that there is one flat in F major and it's B flat. And then I need to know my numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why is that important? Is because when we transpose, we use formulas. If I'm in the key of C, I know I start on the third note. So 1, 2, 3, up to the root. Come down, up to the flat 7, 6, and then end on the 5th in the flat 7. Well, if I use the same kind of formula, first thing I say is, okay, I'm in the key of F. The third note of F, my thumb goes on the third up to the root. Then my pinky's on the flat 7, so I'm thinking about that. And then I come down and I'm root 6, 5, and I end with the flat 7 and the 5th in the same way that in the key of C we ended on the flat 7 and the 5th. So let me do those two chords together. Here we go. And I'll do it twice. Now up to F. Back to C. Now we're going to learn the last one that we need to do for a simple C blues that has 3 chords as we go up to the G. Well, the G major scale has 1 sharp. It's F sharp. So as we learn the G major scale, we need to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the fingering is very simple. It's the same exact fingering to learn the G major scale as C major. It's 1, 2, 3, thumb under. And what we're doing is looking for the third note of the G major scale, and I put my thumb on there, and then I put my pinky up on the top. So it's third up to the root, in the same way that in C, I was thinking about the C major scale, third up to your root. On F, third of F major scale up to the root. And then on G, we think third up to the root. Now we're going to do the pattern. And that gives me the second note up to the flat 7, so I know I'm doing good there. And then I'm going to come down one more time, and then it's root 6, 5, 6, flat 6, and then we end with the flat 7 and the 5th note. Let me do that again. So we have 3 chords now. We have the C. Let's do that again. Now we're on F, so my thumb goes up to the third. Back to C. Now the third of G. Third of F. And actually on the very last one, because I'm going to a G, we change it. Instead of going to the flat 7, we're actually going to go to the third of G major. And that's kind of more for a different lesson, but at the very end, I'm thinking about G7, which gets me back to the top of the form. Okay, now let's do this. I want to show you something really important. So we learned the bass line, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's quarter note bass line, 1, 2, 3, 4. With all my students, we teach so many different bass lines, but we always isolate them. So we learn how to build up muscle memory for each particular bass line that we use. So you can also do eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and just by changing the bass line and not changing the lick, you'll start to hear a different sound. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Up to F, same thing. Back to C. To G. F. One more time. F chord, C, G, So a couple of things on that is once you learn the pattern, let me turn the metronome off for just a second. I want to talk about this. So we build up muscle memory, and then you can start to use it in so many different ways. And let me give you an example. In Blues Volume 4, we do the whole chorus, which is just this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So we have 10 new licks in Volume 4, but a totally different bass line. So the whole chorus, starting off with certain licks, are using this bass line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And in Blues Volume 1, here's the bass line for the entire chorus. So when we do this short version, and you guys have the PDF, just click on the description and you can download it right away. When you do this short version of it, if you go to Blues Volume 4, you have this. I'm sorry, this is the longer version. And all that is an extended version of it. But the reason I wanted to show you is because by changing the bass line and doing this bass line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, it totally changes the feel. Over F. Okay, so in Blues Volume 4, it has this all the way down. So you take this same fingering, 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 5, but you keep coming down, 1, 1, 5, and then you do one little variation. You do 1, and then instead of coming down a half step, you come down a whole step, and then you finish. So you do this. That's all right. And then on F. Sorry. let me do that again. Something like that. See if I can do the whole thing. Okay, so isn't it nice how you just change up the bass line and it makes it almost like a totally different sound altogether? All right, so let's go back to how to transpose this in all keys. It doesn't matter what key you were to yell out, it's the same exact fingering. So if I go to to D major, and I think, okay, D major has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. I'm gonna go to the third node with my thumb and go up to the root. Half step down, 6, flat 6, and you end with the flat 7 and the 5 again. And I have a root. It's nice to be able to use a fingering that works over all keys, or you can play all of the keys with that same exact fingering. I was playing a jazz gig last weekend, and just for fun, on the jazz song, it was rhythm changes, and so in the middle, it does this section where it does D, G, C, F, and I did all the way down over D to G to C and to F, just for fun. But you see how they connect. And it's just nice to be able to connect all those. Okay, now I'll wrap up this lesson here in just a second. But before I do, grab that PDF, please. It's in the description. And just so you can get the fingering to that, and the way I want you to practice this is very simple. Do the short version, which is just root 5. I'm sorry, 3, 5, 3 is the scale degrees. But I'm using my thumb, pinky, thumb, crossover, thumb, pinky, crossover, and you end on the flat 7 and 5. So practice it like this. On F. Harder for me tonight to do that. Okay, so the next thing, I'm just going to do a couple more small things with this. As you have this idea, and if you focus in on one lick at a time, that's why I decided to do this lesson on just this one idea. This is how you get better at all this stuff. Like, pick out one certain thing and stick with it. It could be just the bass line, or it could be this lick. And then after you get that down, then you say, maybe I'm going to extend the lick. And I showed you how to do that. 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 1. That's the short version, or you can come all the way down. Right? The trick there is going over a whole step after you get down there. Sorry. And then the last thing you might want to do is you have this bass line 1 and 2 and 3, and why don't you put blues example 1 with it. Same exact fingering. G. So as I'm doing that, I'm thinking only two things. I'm either thinking about this, which is a great workout for the right hand and the left hand. It's the same exact motion when you do it on F and G. It's the same exact fingering. The only difference is you might want to go a little bit up, like halfway up and back down, or start at the top. That's really focused practice, and then maybe I want to add this shorter version of this lick. And then I might want to go. I'm not doing that right. I'm trying to put an extra note in. That's what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so back to the focus practice idea. Maybe I want to do just 2-note comping chords. So E up to B flat, and that's my 2-note comping chords. I could go. G. Gonna bug me. My fingers feel like rubber tonight. Okay, so now you have 3 ideas. Three ideas. I'm either doing this. Now I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add one more. Why not? So we could do. We could do the top half of the blues scale. Okay, so what's happening here on the top half of the blues scale? You put your middle finger on whatever key you're in, and it gives you the top half of the blues scale. 4 notes that you know are gonna work: the 5th, the flat 7, the root, or the minor third. go to F. Here we go. Have to give up on that tonight. Thing about music that's so fun and nice is that if you are having trouble with something, you just have to slow it down and try to figure out what the problem is, and then usually you can work it out, especially if it's something you already know how to do. I probably played this thousands of times, but sometimes, I don't know if it's late at night or something and I can't get my fingers going. Sometimes I do have kind of weak hands and I have to work through that. But then I figure out, well, how in the world am I going to get it back? And this doesn't just apply to me. It's with you guys when you practice too. We don't always play things like we want to play. And so for me, I'm just mentally thinking, well, how am I going to do? I've got to slow it down. And I was adding an extra note. So even slowing it down, I was able to figure out what I was doing wrong. And then when I went to F, I did the same exact thing, the long pattern. But because I cleaned it up in the key of C with the same exact movement, it made it easier for me. So even when I went to G, I did the longer version. It made it easier only because I slowed it down. C. If I needed to go slower, I would do that. String all those ideas together. I'm not going to get it fast tonight. I'm trying to do an extra note. But slower. All right, here we go. right, guys, I hope y'all have a fantastic night. It's been a really good day today. And I want to give another shout out to, once again, to Andy for getting the blues bundle, to Macon for getting the blues bundle today. Andy was Sunday, maybe. Macon was today, and then Gilbert was just a little while ago. Thank you guys so much for investing in the courses. I'm super excited. And as you guys know, you don't have to get resources from me. You can get them from somewhere. Find somewhere that you like to study. Find somebody online that you like to study with. I have a Blues Academy, which I'm so excited about. So amazing to have everybody being a part of that. We have about 20 people in our group, and it's fantastic. But it's always nice to have people who I don't know who end up getting courses. And so I'm very thankful for you guys. And all the stuff that I'm showing you now is always in there. Grab this free chart just so you can see what my charts look like. I always show you the fingering. And tonight was supposed to be just about this part of the lick. And that's really what I want you guys to do, is study that one idea. Build up that muscle memory. Because then you could take the simple blues 4-note, 5-note pattern. Do it. And put it all together and just wear it out over and over. And then if you get bold, put it in another key. You say, okay, I can play it in B flat. Same exact fingering. Key of F, same thing. And any key that you pick, you're going to have the exact same fingering. How cool is that? And put it with these simple ideas. At iMusic Academy, the first thing I say is, all right, you do first 5 notes of the blues scale and play it up and down, automatic pilot. And then you turn it around. Any questions about anything? I think that's enough for tonight. Maybe I'll try again tomorrow. All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. That was so much fun. We'll do it again tomorrow. And then definitely on Thursday, we have the Blues Academy. Have a great night. Please like this video, leave a comment, and reach out to me if you have any piano questions.